वो कश्मीर हमारा है।
जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा,
वो कश्मीर हमारा।
भारत माता की, भारत माता की। देश के गद्दारों को, देश के गद्दारों को, भारत माता की
जय,
भारत माता की
जय,
भारत माता की
जय।
देश के गद्दारों को
गोली मारो सारों को,
देश के गद्दारों को
गोली मारो सारों को।
भारत माता की
जय,
भारत माता की
जय,
माता की
जय,
माता की
जय,
माता की
जय।
कश्मीर जाएंगे, हम सब कश्मीर जाएंगे, हम सब कश्मीर जाएंगे। हम किसी से नहीं डरते, आतंकवादियों सुन लो, हम किसी से नहीं डरते। हम कश्मीर वापस आएंगे, हम कश्मीर वापस जाएंगे, हम तुम्हारा खात्मा करके रहेंगे। भारत माता की
जय,
भारत माता की
जय,
जय कश्मीर,
जय कश्मीर,
जय भारत,
जय भारत,
जय कश्मीर,
जय कश्मीर,
जय भारत,
जय भारत,
भारत माता की
जय,
भारत माता की
जय।
को
गोली मारो सारों को,
देश के गद्दारों को
गोली मारो सारों को।
खून से
वो
सींचा,
कश्मीर हमारा है,
जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा।
वो कश्मीर हमारा है।
सुन लो आतंकवादियों, जिस कश्मीर को हमने खून से सींचा,
वो कश्मीर हमारा है,
वो कश्मीर हमारा है।
वो कश्मीर हम लेके रहेंगे।
दूध मांगो तो कश्मीर मांगोगे तो दूध मांगो, कश्मीर मांगो। जय आतंकवादियों।
That even after 31 years of the painful exodus of thousands of Kashmiri Pandits from their homes on a cold, dark night in January 1990, the suppression and ethnic cleansing has not stopped. The loss of their homes and lands, the complete apathy of our leaders, and even human rights activists from all around the world have pushed the Kashmiri Hindu minorities in this labyrinth where they do not seem to have a way out and no one to turn to.
One of our family members, Mr. Blvd, was murdered cold-blooded on 5th October by terrorists in Kashmir, India. Next him, Supinder Kaur, school principal, another teacher, Deepak and street vendor Varinder Paswan were killed in a barbaric way as well among minorities. Mr. Bindru and his family did not leave Kashmir for these 30 years. He kept Bindru Medicaid open to serve the local community, providing help and medication to sick and needy. Genocide of Kashmiri Pandits and helpless Hindus and Sikh minority in Valley. World has remained silent for last 32 years. But now, please speak up and avoid new disaster.
2016 and 2018 Republican nominee for the U.S. House of Representatives, Florida Congressional District 23. I would like to request Mr. Joe Kaufman to please come and say a few words, share his thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be amongst friends in the Hindu community. And like you, I mourn for those Hindus and Sikhs who were recently murdered by Muslim terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. The perpetrators are, of course, well known. Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Al-Badr, and Lashkar's newest terror affiliate, TRF. And the Pakistani backers of the violence are known as well. In fact, it was reported that Pakistan's ISI intelligence agency held strategy meetings with the Kashmiri terrorists. But the ISI has been doing this for years, so who could be surprised? I would say that the United States should hold Pakistan's feet to the fire. But when the Biden administration is holding meetings with the Taliban to discuss financial aid to Afghanistan, who is anyone to think the U.S. has the moral backbone to do anything with regards to Pakistan? After Modi and India courageously began to take back its property of Jammu and Kashmir, operatives from Jamaat's US-based ICNA group were among the leaders of many of the protests. Did you know that ICNA, or the Islamic Circle of North America, gets millions of dollars of US taxpayer money annually? That's millions with an M, financed through government agencies like FEMA and Homeland Security. And with this money, ICNA is growing larger, with more and more subsidiaries and a global reach. When disasters take place in the US, ICNA Relief shows up. I am here amongst you, a Jewish friend, among Hindu friends. In November 2008, when a Jewish rabbi and his wife and others were murdered by members of Lashkar-e-Taiba at a Mumbai, India synagogue, the entire Jewish community rallied to speak out against it. Jews felt threatened, and the Jewish community spoke out. Today, Hindus are threatened, here and abroad, and the Hindu community needs to come out united against it. We must shut down Islami in South Asia, and we must shut down Jamaat in the USA. If we ignore terror, it will never leave us. Thank you.
Where is the hue and cry over blatant targeted killings of religious minorities at the hands of these Islamic terrorists? Where are the political leaders of the world denouncing the terrorist organizations and countries that sponsor these acts of violence? Where are the self-proclaimed human rights activists? Their muted voices make them also an accomplice to such heinous crimes against humanity. There was more global outrage when internet was suspended in Kashmir some time back in order to flush out the terrorists, but not at the recent targeted killings of religious minorities. Today we have gathered here to draw world attention to this elephant sitting in the room, which no one wants to acknowledge and address. But we now are more determined to not let our tragic history as a community fall victim to the political agenda of the liberal media that often likes to portray Hindu plight as a karmic construction while bending over backwards to portray Islamists as the perennial victims of religious violence and Islamophobia. We cannot let our present and future mirror the past. This is why we are marching and protesting today. This is why we must stand shoulder to shoulder to demand our rights as a persecuted ethnic and religious minority. Now is the time to fight before we lose our identity and our homeland. We cannot remain silent. It is not an option anymore.
They went to a school and there they asked their ID card, their Aadhaar card. And after seeing the Aadhaar card, they found two non-Muslims. They told them to stand on the other side and shot them dead. Here are the pictures of those two people. These two people were killed mercilessly, Taliban style. This is what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir today. We cannot remain silent forever. We have to raise awareness at each and every level. My wife was very much emotional about all these killings. So she has written a poem in Hindi. So I'm going to recite that poem. The title of the poem is Vitasta Ke Saput. Vitasta is a holy river in Kashmir. In आतंकवादियों ने तेरा सीना छलनी करके स्वर्ग को नरक बनाया, जिन्होंने किया धर्म परिवर्तन. These are all Muslims, but they are converted Hindus. They were Hindus once upon a time, and they were converted to Islam by Mughals and by Sufis. जिन्होंने किया धर्म परिवर्तन, हुआ उनका आचरण भी परिवर्तन. हमने कभी ना की नाफरमानी, ना ही कभी की हमने पत्थरबाजी. ना कभी हमने बंदूक उठाई, ना कभी की राष्ट्र से बेवफाई। करेंगे जय जयकार, करेगी जो तो इन आतंकियों का नरसंहार। तेरे पूत तंबू में बसर करते रहे, अवर हिंदू कश्मीरी हिंदू माइग्रेंट्स इन जम्मू। तेरे पूत तंबू में बसर करते रहे, 2 वक्त खाने के मोहताज रहे, प्यासे तड़पते रहे, फिर भी कभी हिम्मत न हारी। पर तुम्हें कभी हम पर दया नहीं आई। हमने बच्चों के हाथ में बंदूक नहीं बल्कि किताब और कलम थमाई। हमने भीख नहीं मांगी और न ही विवशता से कोई हार मानी, क्योंकि हमने लल देत और ऋषि कश्यप की विरासत है पाई। भटके जो कपूत हैं वह भी तो हिंदू थे ही कभी। निवेदन है या तो उन कपूतों का धर्म परिवर्तन करो, या तो इन आतंकियों का नरसंहार करो। दर दर की ठोकरें 31 साल से खा रहे हैं हम। बुला रहा है चिनार, बुला रहा है चिनार बाग हमें, रुला रही है शंकराचार्य की याद हमें। अब तो वापस घर बुला लो हमें। हम वितस्ता से विस्थापित हो लोग, वितस्ता के सपुत्र, फिर से पुनर्वास होना चाहते हैं। फिर से वितस्ता पे बैठकर वाक लिखना चाहते हैं। फिर हम अपने घर को वापस जाना चाहते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Not the time. This is the time to stand up and speak for it. And it's very important that we all do that. And I'm so happy that this initiative was started. And let's keep on moving. With the message should be peace.
Under Kashmir solidarity, fighting with Senator, Congress, with almost 3 past presidents to declare Pakistan terrorist state. I want government of India to move in that directions. We don't want any Kashmiri Hindu, Kashmiri Sikh or any other local to kill and give them money. We want to protect them. That is what the action government has to take. I know government is doing a wonderful job. They have a lot of problems, but Kashmir problem is not today's problem. It is for long. I request President of America, which we are presenting a memorandum to him, that Pakistan should be declared as a terrorist state. That is the bottom line. There is no if and buts about that. This month we
Satyameva Jayate, unless we believe in that, and things like that, ki ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. We have to be Rama and Krishna, not only worship them, we have to face the devil. तो महिषासुर मर्दनी का हमने अभी माता की पूजा की, महिषासुर मर्दनी की। तो महिषासुर नाम के राक्षस को उसने मारा, उसने खत्म किया, उसकी हमने पूजा की। पर हमारे में वो मातृशक्ति, वो जो ज्वलंत शक्ति है, उसका उदय नहीं होता है। तो किस काम की ये पूजा है? ये आपको बचा पाएगी? नहीं बचा पाएगी। अगर आपकी बॉडी नहीं रहेगी ना, तो कुछ मायने नहीं रखता है। ये जीते जी जो है कर्म करने का है।
भारत माता की।
और आज वो सब जगह हावी हो रहा है हम पर, और हम इतने ज्ञानी ध्यानी इतने बड़े बड़े ओहदे पे बैठे हुए हैं, CEO बन के बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों के, लेकिन हमको ये नहीं मालूम है कि हमारी हस्ती मिटती जा रही है। अगर यही हाल रहा तो 10-20 साल में हम सार्वजनिक कोई उत्सव नहीं मना पाएंगे।
ये पोस्टर कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है। कैरी सम पोस्टर्स यार।
नतीजा वो कश्मीर हमारा है। कश्मीर को खून से सींचा, वो कश्मीर हमारा है। भारत माता की जय।